Time for more equations. Today we are doing equations with pronumerals on both sides. So there is some steps here to follow. Step number 1 says that you should expand brackets first, if there are brackets. Not all of these questions have brackets, but if there are brackets, you should expand those first. Step number 2 is that you need to collect all the pronumerals on one side of the equation. So you'll see in these equations down here, you've got an 8x on one side and a 6x on the other side. That's what it means with pronumerals on both sides. Okay, we don't want that. We want to always collect up the letters. Now, what I like to do is I like to always move the smaller term, okay, because that will make it easier and it will make it so that we don't have as many negative numbers in there. Okay, so once we've collected up the pronumerals, then we want to collect up the numbers on the other side of the equation, and then we're basically just doing our equation solving skills of doing the opposite to move things away from there. Okay, so let's give this a go. In example number 1, we have 8x plus 5 is equal to 6x plus 11. So these, the 8x and the 6x, they are what we mean by pronumerals on both sides. So I want to look at those two terms and say which one is smaller. The 6x is smaller, so I want to move that whole term, not just the 6, I want the whole term, the whole 6x. Now, that means I need to subtract that whole term away. Because it's a positive 6x, I'm going to subtract 6x. I'm going to write it straight underneath, and I'm also going to write it straight underneath the other x term, okay? One on either side of the equal sign to keep it balanced. So 6x minus 6x on this right-hand side, they will cancel out now, which is what we wanted. On the left-hand side, we subtract these two terms. So we go 8x, take away 6x, that makes 2x. Okay, so these ones have been collected. We also have the plus 5, and the 6x's have cancelled out, but we still have the 11. Okay, so now we've made our equation much nicer. We just have a two-step equation here because we have two numbers, these two numbers here, still with the x. So there's two numbers to move away. So the x has been multiplied by 2 and the 5 has been added afterwards. So the 5 was the last thing, it has to go first. So because it's a positive 5, I'm going to subtract 5. Cancel that one off. That leaves 2x. And 11 take away 5 makes 6. Now, to get rid of the 2 that's multiplied with the x there, I want to divide by 2. The 2's will cancel off. X is now all by itself, and I just need to do 6 divided by 2, which is 3, to get my answer. Okay, so that's the process. Let's try that again. In question 2, we have a 4y and a y. They are the two terms that have pronumerals in them. So we want to move the smaller one. Y is smaller than 4y, isn't it? To move it, because the y is positive, I want to subtract the y. So underneath each of those, subtract the y away. 4y take away y makes 3y. Remember, that's a 1y, so 4 take away 1 makes 3. I still have the minus 2, then the equal sign. The y's have cancelled off, but I have the plus 9. Now, the two more numbers here to move is the 3 and the 2. So the 2 will go first, and I will do the opposite, which is to add 2 to both sides. Cross the 2's off. 3y is left, and 9 plus 2 makes 11. Now to get rid of the 3, I need to divide by 3. Cancel that away. Y is by itself, and 11 divided by 3, 11 divided by 3, go shift SD for 3 2/3. And that's the answer. Question 3. So looking at the pronumerals first, we've got 2x and we've got 5x. Okay, so this time the smaller one is the 2x. So that means I'm going to subtract 2x away from both sides so that the 2x's will cancel out. That means that I have got on the left-hand side, the only thing I have left is the 9. Then I have the equal sign. 5x take away 2x. 5 take away 2 is 3x. And I also have the plus 3. Okay, so this has got the pronumeral on the right-hand side. So the numbers that I need to move is that one and that one. So I'm going to start with this 3 on the end. To move it, I do the opposite of the plus, which is to take away 3. Remember to do it on both sides. Cross those ones off. Now, because I prefer my pronumeral to be on the left, I'm going to do a little switch here. This 3x that's now by itself, I'm going to switch it and put it on the left-hand side. Then the 9 take away 3, that's equal to 6. I'm going to put that on the right-hand side. Okay, just to make that look a little bit more normal. So pronumerals on the left. Okay, now I just need to get rid of this 3. To do that, I want to divide by 3, cancel those ones off. X is by itself, 6 divided by 3 makes 2 for the answer. Question 4, looking at the pronumerals. I have 4a and 2a. 2a is smaller, so I want to get rid of it. Because it's positive, I'm going to subtract 2a. The 2a's will cancel. 4a, minus 2a is 2a, because 4 minus 2 is 2. The plus 9 is still there. The equal sign is still there. The 2a's have gone, so all that's left on the other side is the 3. Now for these two numbers, the 2 and the 9. So you always start further away. The 9 has to go first. So subtract 9, cancel off. 2a equals 3 take away 9 is negative 6. Now to get rid of the 2, because it's multiplied, I want to divide by 2. Cancel it off. A is all alone, and I just need to divide these numbers. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Question 5. Hopefully you're getting the hang of this. Question 5, looking for those pronumerals. We have a 3w and a negative 2w. Okay, so this is the first time that one of our pronumeral terms has actually had a negative in front of it. So negatives are always bigger than, negative coefficients are always smaller than positive numbers, aren't they? So that negative 2w is the smaller term. The opposite of minus 2w is going to be to add 2w. That will cancel that one off. So now I want to add 3w plus 2w. That makes 5w. I still have the plus 1. And on the right hand side, the only thing left is the 11. So next, I have these two numbers here, the 5 and the 1. So remember, the 5 was multiplied with the w, then the 1 was added, so the 1 has to go first. So I can subtract the 1 to get rid of that. That leaves me with the 5w equals 11 take away 1 is 10. One more number to move, which is the 5. To get rid of it, I will need to divide by 5. So w is equal to 10 divided by 5, which is 2. Question 6. 7m and negative 3m. They're my pronumerals. So minus 3 is smaller than 7. So we want to move the minus 3. So what I'm going to do is the opposite. I'm going to add 3m. Add 3m. That will cancel that term off. 7m plus 3m makes 10m. Still have the plus 2, then the equal sign. The 3m's are gone, but I have the 22. Next, the two numbers that I'm working with are the 10 and the 2. The 10 has to go, sorry, not the 10, sorry, the 2 has to go first. Because it's a plus 2, I need to minus 2. Cross those off. That leaves 10m equals 22 take away 2, which is 20. Finally, to get rid of the 10, because it's multiplied, I need to divide by 10. Cross them off. M is by itself, and 20 divided by 10 is 2. Question 7. We have got a minus 5r and a minus 6r. Which one of those is smaller? When it comes to negative numbers, the larger the negative number is, that means it's getting smaller. That's the smaller that it is. So minus 6 is actually smaller than minus 5. So that is the one that I'm going to move. The opposite of subtracting 6r is to plus 6r to both sides. That will cancel that term away. Let's look at what's left. The 12 is still there. Then I need to collect these up. I have minus 5r plus 6r. Be careful with your negative numbers. Use your calculator if you need to. Now what I mean by that is I could just type in, I can't type in the r, but I can type in minus 5 plus the 6, which gives me 1. So it's 1r. And it's a positive one. So that means it actually becomes a plus 1r. But we don't need to write the 1 when it's in front of a pronumeral. So it's just plus r. On the right-hand side, the 6r's are gone. But I have a 7r there. I don't think that 7r was meant to be there. Let's keep going. 7r. Okay, let's collect up again. We have more r's here to collect. Which one is smaller now? Well, I have got a 1r and a 7r. So the smaller one is the 1r over here. So I am going to subtract r from both sides, cancel that away. That's going to leave me with 12 equals 7r minus r is 6r. And then I need to divide by the 6 to get the r all by itself. I'm going to put the r on the left-hand side, so r equals 12 divided by 6 is 2. Now, I actually could have done that question a different way. Okay, I didn't actually see at first that we actually had 3 r terms in there. Let's go back and I'll show you an alternative way to do that one. If we start back at the beginning, because these are both r terms here, we could collect those up together. So we just realizing that they're like terms, minus 6r plus 7r. Again, we have negative numbers, so be careful. Negative 6 plus 7 means that those terms collect just to be a 1r. So we have 12 minus 5r equals just 1r or r. That means that I've collected up and I've got less terms to deal with now. So I could just look at my 2r terms here, 5r and r, or negative 5. The negative 5r is the smaller term. So I would need to add 5r. Okay, that's going to give me a 12 on the left, and 1r plus 5r is 6r. Then to get rid of the 6 that's with the r, I need to divide by 6. Cancel those away, and I get r by itself. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So I get the same answer, but I did do slightly different method. One last question. This one involves brackets. So our rules said that we should always expand brackets first. So that means to expand, I multiply the 5 with the 2x. 5 times 2 is 10x. Then I times 5 with the negative 6. That will make a negative 30. Okay. So then I have the equal sign. On the right hand side, I don't need to expand anything. I'm just going to write down what is there again. So minus 9 plus 7x. Now we have our pronumerals on both sides, and it's like all the other questions that we've done. So I have 10x and I have a positive 7x. So the smaller one is the 7x. So I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides. Cancel those ones off. 10 take away 7 is 3x. I have a take away 30x and negative 9. Then the two numbers I have are the 3 and the 30. So I need to get rid of that 30 first. So to do that, the opposite is to plus 30. Plus 30. Cancel those ones away. 3x equals minus 9 plus 30 is 21. Last number to move is the 3. It's multiplied, so divide by 3. X equals 21 divided by 3, which is 7, and that's the end.